Okay, then. What's your next one,
All
Phil?
right. Yeah, Ace of Base. Okay, my next one is another punk one. It's Rise Against, Siren Song of the Counterculture. This one is...
That's a long name.
Yeah, Siren Song of the Counterculture.
Did this come out recently, or was this...
No, this is years ago. This would be...
they predicted cancel culture.
2004, yeah. This, of course, had the big hit on it, Swing Life Away, as well as the punk rock song Give It All is on there. Those were the two big... And, of course, Paper Wings as well, I would say, was a very popular song. This was their album that got them radio play, was Swing Life Away. They kind of went from being... we're underground punk rockers to, we're going to be mainstream radio.
Is this the only Rise Against album you have on your list?
Yeah, why?
Because I just searched them up on Spotify, and I was just seeing Appeal to Reason, and that's just like straight yellow.
Is it though? I didn't think it
like,
was. That's why I didn't want to include it. Is it?
It's straight.
I guess okay.
Straight yellow.
Well, you know what? I'll use that too right now. Appeal to Reason as well. It has Drones on it, which was a huge song. And it has a lot, actually. I want to say Long Forgotten Sons is on it, too. Geez, that's been a minute since I listened to this album. Yeah, Long Forgotten Sons was a huge one for Heads
Savior
Unworthy.
is their biggest song on Spotify.
Savior is one of that. So Swing Life Away kind of has that same kind of sound, like acoustic guitar. It was almost like their version of Time of Your Life by Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
Then Savior came out, and that got them... all the girls went, I love Rise Against.
So I guess that was their time, is between those two albums.
Yeah, and then their next album that came out, which I talk about, the Endgame one, a lot of their songs, like they tried to make all their album radio friendly, and it did. I don't know if that took away the fan base or made it more, but yeah, Savior is a great song. And I guess, see, to me, when I look at this, I don't see yellow for some reason. I see more of, like, beige.
Are you colorblind as well?
Maybe.
Oh, welcome to the club, Bill.
Hey, we'll drink to that, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I can see that straight yellow.
Well, okay, we'll go with those two, Appeal to Reason and the other...
There's more yellow in that than there is Siren Song.
Well, whatever. It's all the same to me. I'm colorblind, apparently, now, so... But yeah, we'll go with those. Right? Any chance to put over Rise Against, I'm all for. So Rise Against, number one. All right.
Fair enough.
Also, number one, let's see. Abortions for all. Boo. Okay. Abortions for no one. Boo. Okay. Abortions for some. Miniature American flags for others. Yay. The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Which one should I do next?
I could probably slide one in there.
Oh, you want to go ahead?
It's not. It's you dirty man.
Whatever you say, man.
Slide it in.
It's really not a yellow album. It's like got a little bit of yellow in there, but it's Thick as Thieves by Trooper. It's just a real solid all around.
I search up Thick as Thieves, and the first thing that shows up is the Shinedown song.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's all around.
Oh yeah, I would say
good rock album.
Yeah,
it's got. I mean, plenty of ballads because that's.
Does that got Raise a Little Hell on it?
Yeah,
it does.
Raise a little hell, raise a little hell.
Yeah, kind of album you could sit back and drink a beer to.
It's a good album. Yeah. I don't know if I've listened.
I think it's probably their best. Though.
So it's a man's album, is what I'm hearing. Right?
Well, it's not like a man, not like a manly.
It's a manly man's album.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. But it's a very good album.
Raise a little hell, raise a little hell.
Another Canadian band.
Yeah, another 70s.
Hey, you know they came to Wallaceburg?
Did they?
Years ago.
When,
well, I'm sure
30
years ago.
No, recently.
Recently.
Oh.
Not like a couple years.
Yeah.
Where'd they play?
I think it was during, was it during that car show they do? Yeah.
Whambo?
You mean Whambo?
Whambo, yeah.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
When was that?
A while, it was about 10, yeah, it was, because Roddy Piper was here then too. He was when he was still alive. It was Whambo was big. Jay Leno, I believe, came through here one time too.
That was
back
quite a
when
few years
Whambo
ago
was...
because Roddy Piper died
in 2016.
in 2016.
Piper was here, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Whambo's been getting bigger recently.
Well, yeah, they've gone...
You know what the biggest car show, though, of Canada, or maybe even the world is the Bothwell one. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
one
a
that
big
Bothwell
one,
has
yeah.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy to think it's Bothwell. But
Yeah.
Bothwell?
I know.
Oh,
nothing.
jeez.
Nothing happens in Bothwell.
Not much.
Bothwell's known
Not
for
much
their car.
happens here either.
They're known for their car show and their Bothwell hockey. I forget what their hockey team is, but yeah, there's Bothwell hockey.
Hmm.
Yep.
All right, the next album I got is by a band that Bill always asks who's playing when at work. I'll play a song and he's like, "Who's this?" I'm like, "It's the same person you asked the last 4 times," and that's "Bullet for My Valentine" with "Scream, Aim, Fire."
Well, to be fair, folks, every album they sound different.
They sound musically different. His voice is the same.
It doesn't matter. It still sounds different. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. This is their second album. This is not their best album, probably third best for me, but it's a classic. It's got the title track "Scream Aim Fire." It's got "Waken the Demon." It's got, I'm trying to remember off by heart. Crap, I cannot remember anything off of it. I'm a bad Bullet fan. It's got "Eye of the Storm," "Heart Burst into Fire" is like a ballady song. It's got "Forever and Always," another ballady kind of song. It's definitely like their first album was heavy emo kind of sound, and then this album was like that. And then here's a few ballads, I think there's 3 or 4 ballads on the album. But I think one of my favorite songs, which is one of the least known songs, is "Take It Out on Me." It's just a punky kind of fast, aggressive.
Okay.
It's all clean sung. There's not, well, there's I think a little bit of harsh vocals, but it's mostly clean sung, but it's just fast and in your face.
Nice.
Yeah, this album's really good. The deluxe edition's even cooler because there's 4 or 5 extra songs on it, but that's black and white, so I didn't consider that.
All right.
But yeah, "Scream Aim Fire" by Bullet for My Valentine.
Nice. I'm down with that.
All right. So my next one is "Smash" by The Offspring.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
I had this last on my list. I was going to see if you were going to cover it. So
yeah,
I'm glad you did.
I had it on my
I only put on there because I think we agreed that.
Well, we talked about it during the Red album.
The
They're
Red
this is
album.
Because,
the
and I still swear to this,
the back of the album.
Yeah, but the CD I feel was so Red oriented. If you look at the CD, because back then on the CD you also had the side, of the CD where there's
sure, but
yeah, but
it just felt
that's probably because
the
when
cover-
you listen to it, you're looking at the back,
Yeah.
looking at it.
the cover online though looks more yellow.
yes, it
Yeah,
does. Yeah, fair
Well,
enough.
the main cover art is yellow.
If we're talking CDs, I'm putting it in the red. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're considering a yellow album, and I picked it because it's got great songs like "Self-Esteem," "Gotta Get Away." I'm pretty sure we talked about this album
Yeah.
before on the podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
it had
yeah,
to come
for sure.
come out and play.
Come out and play.
Yeah.
That's another one. Yeah.
Even some of their deep, what's it called again? Deep cuts.
Deep cuts,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of their deep cuts I think are better than their radio songs on that album.
I haven't heard the whole album.
And this
But,
is the most grungy punking.
It's so
grunge
grunge.
punk is what it is. It's grunge
It's
more
so
than punk.
dirty
Yeah.
and gross. It's
Yep.
great.
Gunk.
Gunk. It's
It is
gunk.
It's
I love
gunk.
it. It's gunk. Yes, it is. It's a gunk album. That's awesome, Race. Thank you.
We're gonna coin that term now.
No, I think I like that now.
We're
Gunk.
stealing that from you. You don't get any credit for that.
No,
We get
sorry,
the credit.
Race.
Yeah.
Go on tour again to.
Well, I got to make a new Gunk album.
Yeah, you gotta,
Gunk
go, complain,
album,
you gotta
yeah.
go complain people stole your word.
Yeah.
There's a 10-minute song in this album? What the hell?
On Smash?
Yeah, the title track is 10 minutes.
No,
and 40
no.
seconds.
There's a mystery.
Oh,
hidden
so
track.
it's just on Spotify.
So-
they just merged.
The hidden track is a guitar solo of Gotta Keep Them Separated, I believe it is.
That's the 10-minute song?
It's just, you have to go through 7 minutes of dead air to get
So it's
to.
probably probably just
okay.
for some reason they just put the whole 10 minutes instead of
Yeah.
adding another track.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of bands back then did that on CDs.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
digitally you think they'd split it and just
I know.
fucking-
So that's one thing I miss too, though, about CDs to vinyls. Is that CDs you did get mystery songs at the end,
Yeah.
which was cool. For me, I'm going with a band that was big in the late '90s. They were more so a radio big than anything. I don't think many people went out and said this is their favorite band of all time, but I'm talking about the band Tonic, and the album is Lemon Parade. And of course, they were known for that one big song, If You Could Only See. which went, if you could only see the way she loves me, then maybe you would understand. And I know anyone who was born in 1980 through 85 who lived their teenage years in that era would probably know that song and probably comes back to them like of a sentimental way, right? It's like one of those songs that you probably listen to if a girl dumped you or vice versa,
Oh, yeah,
right?
heartbreak song.
Yeah. They also had another hit off that album, which was called Open Your Eyes. Yep. And they had a song that wasn't on this album, but it was a big song because it was off the American Pie soundtrack called You Wanted More.
Yeah.
And that was a huge one. Again,
yeah,
this
I
band...
don't know if I've heard that song. I feel like if I listen to it, I might, but just based off what you were singing, I can't.
No, but I think I think the days of you guys listening to radio is pretty much dead now compared to our generation.
I grew up listening to it, so I probably...
Well, yeah, you did, but I mean, when I get into your guys' vehicles now, you get your phones and get the track list stuff, right?
Fair.
There's
I still listen to the radio.
Because you're more old school still.
Yeah.
You were
I just
born,
don't like the radio because they play the same 10 tracks.
Yeah.
Like it's either Metallica or it's like...
Okay, if you were to listen to the radio, what station would you put on the riff?
106.7.
What is it?
106.7.
What's that?
I forget what the...
I don't think I know that one.
96.7.
It's Detroit one. Yeah, 106.7. It's a rock
106.
channel.
Oh.
106.
I figured you'd listen to 101 WRF.
I also have that one on there. Those are my two that I go back and forth.
Oh, no, I know that
those are
station.
two
I
rock
definitely
channels.
listen to 106, yeah.
So did 106 kind of take over where 89X died at? Because 89X
so.
became country, and that was...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rock, and I think
Yeah,
they
it
have,
feels like heavy kind of...
Yeah.
heavy rock
Yeah, it's
slash
where's it
metal.
from?
I know it was.
It's from Kitchener. It's located.
They don't play.
No, I think it's...
anymore either.
I thought they were from Detroit. It's a Detroit
Unless
rock
there's
station.
another one that's
I don't
in
know.
Kitchener.
Well, because that one says country, right?
Oh, Toronto has
That
one
one
called
says
The
country,
Edge.
yeah, so.
That's good. They play metal and alternative and...
What
Yeah, there's a
station is
Detroit
that?
one. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know the number. We get it on our cable box. We get radio stations from Toronto.
Oh.
Virgin Radio we get, and we get The Edge. It's like 10 something Edge. But yeah, so anyways, back to the original Yellow. Yes, Tonic Lemon Parade.
Lemon Parade.
So that's my yellow there. So what's next? Anyone? Race? Do you have a new one or?
You gonna slide in again,
really.
Race?
Yeah, I bet Bud the Spud by Stompin' Tom Connors.
There you go.
I gave Bill my CD of that because I don't have a CD player anymore.
Yeah, I ended up sadly pawning that one. I didn't.
What?
That didn't make the cut.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I know.
Can't believe
Wait,
it.
you don't want the Potato album?
It is a really stupid album.
Potato.
Yeah, Stompin' Tom's
is
like
there any decent song on it?
that's subjective.
Sudbury Saturday Night.
There's fun songs on there for sure, but it's a bit of an acquired taste, I think.
I swear, this guy made a living off of making Canada stereotypical as fuck.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah.
Like after the hockey song, every song was just, hey, how can we put more Canadian shit into
I
a
don't
song?
really know those.
Pretty
so I'm
much,
just gonna
man.
do a shout out that you like those albums.
All right, my next album
Nah, don't worry.
Just saying.
is we'll do 2 in 1. These are two Call of Duty Zombie Call of Duty soundtracks. The first one is the Origins soundtrack, so a Call of Duty Zombies map called Origins. There's a soundtrack for it, and it's very metal fueled, and there's some like creepy piano, like just soundtrack, like background noise sounds.
Hold on. You have a second one?
He's an alcoholic.
He's an alcoholic.
You went mute
Yes.
to go to the fridge.
He
Yes.
went mute to go to the fridge.
Yes, because a lot of noise happens out in the kitchen.
Very
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to hear him out in the kitchen, like opening the door and stuff, so
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even think of that. All
I
right,
don't think
sorry.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
anyways, Jackson,
Um,
sorry.
it would have been distracting.
And so Origins is the first one. That one's really good. I think the best tracks on it are Abracadabra and Archangel, which are very heavy, very like, I think it's 2011. 2011, I think, is when that map came out. And then the other soundtrack is for Black Ops 4. So that game came out 2018. And it was, it was good. There's some more like modern metal tracks on it rather than like the kind of old school sound that the other album had. But yeah, it's
Nice.
good Call of Duty metal sounds.
Good old Call of Duty.
All right, My next one is Collide by Skillet. So I've been listening to this band a lot lately. This is another great one of theirs. Forsaken and Collide are my favorite songs off this album.
Nice.
Skillet.
Oh. Well, no. Look it up.
Yeah, Skillet's an all-around great band. Like I said, I've been listening a lot to them lately, and kind of started loving every single one of their albums.
Yeah.
Lately. So.
They definitely got a consistent sound. Kind of like Shinedown, where all their albums sound like you can hear.
In a way, they kind of are like Shinedown.
Yeah, they still sound like themselves, even if they go like more mainstream or heavier or whatnot.
Skillet, you know who I think the lead singer sounds like in a weird way at times? Is Adam from 3 Days Grace. There's a weird, there's something about the voice. It's not dead on, but I could see each band covering each style, like I could see that easily. Huh. Interesting. So that was your...
that's my pick.
All right.
So would you now, Bill?
Well, for me, I'm going with something that is pretty much describes the early 90s to a T. With the help of the television show Beverly Hills 90210, I would have never have known of the song Losing My Religion by REM. This, of course, being REM Out of Time. For all you old school fans out there who listen to this, who could forget when Dylan and Brenda broke up in the car to Losing My Religion being played on the car radio? You became an instant fan. You had to own this album. We have it in our collection. And Losing My Religion, of course, their big hit, as well as Shiny Happy People as well off this album, plus many other songs. It's, besides Monster, I believe, is REM's other big famous album with What's the Frequency, Kenneth. This album here is very solid. Yeah. I remember Josh was going to get it, and I snagged it off him that day. I didn't know he was going to pick it up because he didn't pick it up yet. He's like, I was going to get it. I'm like, I didn't know. So I ended up taking it. Shout out to Josh, by the way, if he's listening. I don't know if he does listen. Does Josh listen?
Don't think so.
Josh, you should listen. Anyways, Josh, Race drank your drinks.
He might listen, but he's like...
Yeah, Josh, if you're hearing this, fuck you.
I think if he does, he's like... Because last time I talked to him, he was on the Blue albums, and that was like a week or two ago, so he's really behind.
Oh, Josh. Well, big shout out to our buddy Josh. But yeah, this again, REM's just a band that is just very... I don't know how to explain them. Well, yeah, they're alternative, yes. You can talk a little louder. It's okay, Melissa. She's like, alternative. They are alternative, but I also feel like REM is STP without the balls, if that makes any sense to you. I don't know. I think it does. I feel like Stone Temple Pilots is just REM with like heavy balls compared to REM. That's just my opinion. I think Stone Temple
kind of see it.
Yeah, I think STP could sing REM songs and vice versa. I really do.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I still think there's a distinct enough sound where it's not that. Like, it's not just them with, like, heavier, but I think it is. It's very much
What were you going to say?
I think REM is very poetic.
So is STP.
In comparison, yeah, it is, but I just feel like it's...
Well, then, you know what, Scott Weiland, come back from the dead right now to sing some REM songs for us. Oh, God, he's here. We summoned him. No. All right, what's next?
What's my next one? That's a good question.
You went over race. Come on.
I got nothing, man.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I got like
just start scrolling your phone and find.
That's what I've been doing. Oh yeah, it's just any album.
Just search up Yellow Album.
Yellow Album.
And just search.
That's what Matt likes to do.
Yeah. My next one is by another classic metalcore band, almost like thrash metalcore, but this is their newest album, and that is Court of the Dragon by Trivium. I haven't listened to this album a whole lot. I think I've listened to it 3 times through, but I've listened to the title track a lot. This album is heavy to a T. It is probably their heaviest, one of their heaviest albums to date. It's got, I think the big songs on it were the title track, The Court of the Dragon, Feast of Fire, and The Phalanx. But it's like, there's a lot of not really say proggy, but like more progressive songs, because there's like 3 songs there, 7 minutes, which is odd for a metalcore album. But yeah, it's just overall great, heavy, in-your-face album. And the album cover is really cool. It's like a coliseum with the dragons coming in and just killing a bunch of people, because why not? It's metal.
Fair enough. All right. And this is the last one I have on my list. And I'm not sure if you would consider this an yellow album, but the title of it's definitely yellow. And it's Sick and Twisted Affair by My Darkest Days. We've talked about My Darkest Days before on the podcast, and this is
Yeah, we did during the Red albums, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we talked about their Red album.
Yeah, their debut, yeah.
Yeah. This
Get a
one...
load of this guy, man. He's shitting on Matt for going to get a drink. He's got a tall boy Caesar right now.
Do you mute your mic there, Bill?
What's that?
Do you mute his
I did
yeah,
mute the
mic?
mic because I started thinking out there. Maybe Matt had the right idea.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Shut up.
Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, My Darkest Days. Sick and Twisted Affair. We've talked about before. Casual Sex isn't my favorite song on the album.
I think it's one of
It's not his favorite thing in life either.
Shut up, Bill.
Oh, they only have 2 albums? Damn.
Yeah. But, yeah, they only got 2 albums.
I guess, yeah, because after the singer
Yeah,
went
'cause
to,
he went
30
to-
Grace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. It's a great album if you consider a yellow album. Like I said, it's
I
not.
think it's close enough. If
Hey.
you look at it from far, it's yellow.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
If you look
gotta,
close, there's some other stuff.
I gotta read something here. I want to ask you guys something. I just was browsing Facebook on the rant and rave. It says rave to Wallsburg Walmart worker Dave.
Who's Dave?
Who's who's Dave?
Who lied about their name and said their name's Dave?
That's what I was thinking. Like, who the hell's Dave at work?
Why are we doxing Dave right now?
Why are we doxing us?
Yeah.
I really don't know anyone named called Dave that works at
It's
Walmart.
because Shannon just said Wallsburg or Chatham, who works there. Shannon's wondering Wallaceburg.
All right, everyone, let's say Bill's address at the same time.
Yeah.
What? Oh, we said Wallaceburg on here.
We
before.
have,
Yeah.
which I wish I bleeped out, but
Fair
oh
enough.
well.
Oh, who cares?
When we get famous, we're gonna get shot up. We're gonna be like,
Who even knows where this place is?
That's
Come
fair.
on.
Yeah, anyone who listens to us are either your dad's friends or random people who live
Or us.
down in the States. You said
yeah,
someone.
there's one guy, which I don't think he listens anymore, but there's one dude in Arizona or one girl or something.
Yeah.
There's one person in Arizona that we had to play from. I'm like, okay,
So
so shout out to them if they're still
yeah, we
watching.
can technically get anyone from anywhere.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
listening.
I just don't post any Instagram, so it doesn't get anywhere.
that's true. It's
Yeah.
funny though. So if anyone wants to come to Wallaceburg,
That is to start bleeping it
yeah.
out, censoring ourselves.
Yeah. Anyway, Bill, here you go.
All right, for me, next up we have Billy Joe Armstrong with No Fun Mondays. That was Billy Joe's cover album. He did his big cover on there was I Think We're Alone Now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. Billy Joe, of course, the lead singer of Green Day, who is also in the band Ariana Green Day, who is Ariana Grande.
Okay.
That sucked.
Yeah, I know. But no, besides that, Billy Joe is the singer of Green Day. He did a solo album a few years ago. I don't know how well it was perceived. It was pretty cheap on Amazon all the time. It was like $20-something to
Yeah,
get
I'm
the
not
vinyl.
sure.
So I really don't know if it got over like he was hoping. I think it was during COVID times he released this.
Yeah.
Because he was at home and bored and said, let's just do this. So, but, you know, if you like cover songs and Billy Joe Armstrong, then it's a good album to listen to, I guess. I really don't know, but I've heard it. I mean, I was listening to it because I was thinking about getting it one time, but then I just fell out of favor with it. I'm just like, I don't need it.
Fair enough. Did you find anything
I'm,
scrolling through Spotify?
Lacking in the yellow album department right now.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah, my favorite album of all time that I always talk about because I have it and I listen to it is "Sailing the Seas of Cheese" by Primus.
You're a Primus guy?
Yeah, definitely. Jerry was a race car driver. That's it's a classic. Every time I get the speaker at work, that's all you hear for
Yeah.
4
Just
hours.
premise
Oh,
and,
boy.
yeah. All right. My next album
I don't know.
is a newer album. It came out 2021. It's by a classic power metal band. Actually, I think the founders of power metal, the Halloween, and it is their self-titled album. This album is... I forget what the hits were on it. Crap, I can't remember.
I can't help you there. I don't
It
really know
just
anything
came out,
about
so I guess there's not really hits, but Best Time was one of the bigger tracks on it. Skyfall, the 12-minute song, was really good. Out for Glory, Fear the Fallen. Some of my favorite songs are actually on the deluxe edition, which are Golden Times and Save My Hide. But yeah, this is a really good power metal album. Its guitar work is amazing. It's catchy. There's some heavier songs on, well, heavier in power metal, so it's not super heavy, but good album.
All right, then.
Got one of the best artworks I've seen for an album cover too.
And that helps with the sales, I do believe. I really think to this day, artwork helps.
Oh, yeah.
You-
Well, I'm all out from my mind.
You're all out.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. So that was my last.
Oh,
one.
no more yellow for you.
Yeah, I can throw out one I actually had on my list, but then I took it off because there's actually only one song I like off of it. Was Blur with their self-titled
Song 2. Yeah.
album Song 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't blame you for saying that
Yeah.
one.
I have listened to the whole album, but the album is just kind of weird to me. The Song 2 is a great.
Yeah, it's
great-
a standout track, and nothing else really sounds like it. Everything else is much different sounding.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Maybe I just throw that out there. Bill?
I guess it's my turn then.
Yep.
All right. I will go with an album that my girlfriend likes more than me, because I'm not really a fan of this band per se, but she is, and that's Radiohead. And the album, of course, is Pablo Honey. And it has the big song Creep on it. And everyone knows Creep, I think. If you listen to, music back on the radio in the 90s, Creep was always on there by
It's a great
Radiohead.
track.
It is. It's a good track. It is. But yeah, I went with that one. I don't really know much about this album. Like I said, I'm not a Radiohead fan. It's more like a shout out to Melissa here because she likes it. I do like Creep. Don't get me wrong. I remember I had that song on. I think it was an MTV Buzzbin CD. So back in the day, MTV would release compilation CDs of their top hits at the time. Creep was definitely on it, and it's a classic to this day. Though I mean, it can still be played in this era of music and be universally accepted as like current music. I think that's one that kind of shows how well that song is. But yeah, Pablo Honey for Radiohead.
It's a good one. Actually, I don't know the album, but Creep itself is enough for you to put
Definitely
that on there. Let's see. This one is something that I don't know if you consider yellow, but I'm going to consider it yellow because that's the focus of the album, and that's Caress of Steel by Rush. The background's kind of like green, but the focus, the artwork is yellow.
Is that kind of like the whole American Idiot debate where we were trying to figure out?
Kind of. This one's a little bit less like debatable. It's kind of like more. It's like you're either one of like it's pretty obvious whether or not you say it is.
Right.
It's a very short album in the sense of there's 5 songs on it,
Okay.
but there's a 19-minute song and a 12-minute song.
Oh, wow.
So this was their 3rd album or 4th album?
3rd, because it was the debut, Fly By Night, and then this one.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Why didn't you pick Rush?
Because I'm not familiar with this album.
Oh,
I know
okay.
Bastille Day, and that's
I
about
really
it.
like. Yeah, Bastille Day is like, honestly, it's one of my favorite Rush tracks. It's a very like mainstream rock song. It's really catchy song. And then there's I Think I'm Going Bald, which was about
Kim Mitchell.
Kim Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Lakeside Park was another good one. But the 2 epics on it, the Necromancer and Fountain of Laments, are just such good tracks.
Sure.
You can definitely see because like they made this album and then their label was like it didn't sell very good at all. It sold terribly.
Yeah.
And their label's like, hey, do not do, like, make short tracks, make mainstream stuff, make radio hits. So then the album after was 2112, where the first track on it is a 20-minute track. So they said, fuck you, we're going to lead with it.
Oh, holy shit.
But you can hear a lot of, like, on these two tracks, you can hear a lot of the sounds that they've continued to use, especially in 2112. There's a lot of similar riffs and a lot of similar playing, and it's like, it's almost like 2112 is their magnum opus of, like, for a song, I think. And then these two are, like, two parts that go into it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a great album. I think it's, among Rush fans, I think it's, like, one of their, like, fan favorites of, like, the lesser known albums.
Okay. All right. I take it as me now, Matt.
Yeah,
You're all
I'm
okay.
all out.
I'm gonna go next with another album that, again, my girlfriend likes a lot, but I know the big radio hit off this album, so I am aware of the song. Is the band Placebo, and the album is Without You I'm Nothing, and the big hit off that one was Pure Morning, which used to play on the radio so much back in 1998, 99, 2000. They were also known for covering Running Up That Hill, that band, but that's not on this album.
Kate Bush song?
Yeah, they covered that. I think they made it better than the Kate Bush version, actually. I do like it a lot. But this album had Pure Morning. That was their big hit. And it was just a fun song. I remember the big line in there was like, a friend with weed is a friend indeed, or something. What is it? A friend with weed, or a friend in need's a friend indeed, but a friend with weed is better. Yeah. And of course, all the potheads back there were like, yeah, weed, you know. So, but yeah, that was it. That was the big hit off that album.
That's a good,
as well as what is the other one?
Every You and Every Me was on Cruel Intentions.
Oh, Every You and Every Me was on the movie Cruel Intentions. Oh, which is again, that represents that era nicely too, because that movie was out in that time frame as well. So
I like that name though, Placebo. That's a cool name for a band.
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's like, I guess they took it from the drug, right? Placebo pills or whatever.
Or even just the placebo effect.
Yeah.
Right? Like the feeling of like benefit when nothing is really there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what their music was like. Hey.
You're very ballsy saying that with her right next to you.
I know.
You're gonna get socked one of these times.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see, which one do I want to do? I have two by Hammerfall that I'll do. They're both like kind of yellow. I threw them in because it's like they're mixed between, like, one of them's a mix, like a fade between blue and yellow, but it's definitely more yellow than blue.
Okay.
And then the other one, I don't remember. I had to search it up. But yeah, so the albums are Hammer of Dawn and Dominion by Hammerfall, and they're very good, like, power metal albums. Like, Hammerfall's sound is very consistent up to a certain point, and like their first few albums were like kind of, they had a sound, and then around 2000 they switched sounds, and they've been doing that since.
Okay.
But yeah, these two albums, I don't know them very well, but I know like a few songs off of each one, and they're really good albums.
Nice. That's all right. For me now, again, shout out to the girlfriend, because I'm picking her albums that are in our collection that are yellow. But I am aware, I'm always aware of these bands. I just don't know the whole albums. But this is the Cranberries, To the Faithful Departed. Of course, their big hit off that one was Salvation. Their song Salvation was the one I know the most off this album. And of course, she, her name was Dolores. What is it? Oh, right. Yeah, she passed away, of course, a few years ago, unfortunately. But the Cranberries' music, I feel, it still lives to this day. People still love it. One of their albums just came out on Record Store Day as a special just for that day. So I feel like the Cranberries are more popular now than ever before, which is crazy. But usually that's what happens when someone dies, right? Their stock goes up. But yeah, I went with that album because it's yellow, and I want to shout out to the Cranberries, who are a badass band with It had an amazing female lead vocalist.
Are you saying that to get in the good graces?
I am, yes, Jackson, I am.
No, I definitely hear their songs on the radio more now.
Yeah.
Cranberries.
Yeah. What was that one band that covered Zombie?
The band that covered
That
Zombie?
yeah, the
I
male
don't know.
band.
I don't know. I just know Zombie off from Cranberries.
Yeah, but there was a male band that just covered it because they were going to get Dolores to sing for it, but she passed away right before she was going to sing with them.
Bad Wolves?
Bad Wolves, yeah.
Yeah.
That's them.
All right. Let's see. I got a decent amount left. There's a few honorable mentions I'll just say at the end, but my next one is actually an album that I listened to. I knew the one song. You showed me the one song off of it, Bill, and then I listened to the album in preparation for this list, and it's really good. I think Matt would like it a lot, and that's Tusk 2 by
Oh, yeah.
I forget the band.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
It's the big hit was Royal Tusk. So
Yes.
Tusk 2 from Royal Tusk, the big song, and the song that Bill showed me was Aftermath.
Yes,
so
yeah.
really catchy, rocky song.
It is.
It's really good.
We used to listen to it on the radio station, the alternative rock or whatever we used to listen to. And yeah, you would know it if you heard it.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, it was super good. I remember we were working that one day and I said, I just happened to listen to it on my computer that day. I was like, dude, check, you like this. And you listened to it and you're like, yeah, that's...
I'm singing it right now because it's just so good.
Yeah.
But I think you would like this album, Matt, because that song is kind of a standout. Like, it's the fastest, it's the most, bigger song, but the rest of the songs are, they're kind of a newer style of, a Skillet or a Shinedown. Like, they don't sound like those bands, but they're kind of I feel like they're definitely influenced, and they're got a very good rock sound to them.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that band or the album.
They're not very big. I think
No, they're not.
the biggest song is 10 million, so not very big on Spotify.
I never hear anything about them
60,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
monthly streams.
Have to listen to them though.
Yeah. I have to listen to their other stuff too. Like, I only know
They
that
have 20
song.
albums. That's it. So
Again, it's like a band, I know we're kind of doing a side bar here, but it's like Asking Alexandria, where I knew of 2 songs,
Yeah.
and I probably should listen to more of their stuff. I think don't.
you listen to the self-titled, the one with Into the Fire and Alone in a Room. It's really good. Those are the heavier songs on it, I think. But
Yeah, I have. That's the album I have on CD.
It's really
yeah,
good.
yeah. My last one is, again, a shout out to the girlfriend and a shout out to myself because it was a bitch to find this album on vinyl, and I got it. It is the band Metric, and the album is Our World Underground. Where Are You Now? It's a Canadian band. They, you know of Metric. You've heard of their music.
Yeah. I know Black Sheep.
Yeah. Metric is very cool. I like their music. It's easy to vibe to. You can put it on and just kind of head bop or just relax to or have a drink to or just zone out to. It's just one of those albums, one of those bands. So that's just a shout out because it took forever to find this album on vinyl, and I got it, and I was pleased to do that for Melissa, and she was very, very happy to get it. And now, overall, I should say this, her Metric collection on vinyl is now complete. We have everything.
All of them, wow.
Yeah, we got them all.
They don't have a lot, do they?
They-
four.
I think they have 8 albums. I think they have 8,
Um,
maybe 8 studio.
Our World, Live It Up, Grow Up and Blow Away. And it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
I think
they have 8.
9.
They have a greatest hits.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, they have so many that they have a tag over there that says Metric. It's not under the M category.
Yeah, I see that right there.
Yeah, it's
Metric.
under the Metric
Right
category.
beside Metallica.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Metallica and Metric are taking up the load of that shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is pretty sweet. But yeah, that's it for my yellow. I ran out of, unless I include Punkorama 6, but that's a compilation CD. I want to stay away from that, or Punkorama 9.
So are you
10.
saving Load for Orange then?
Load is orange. Yeah, Load and Reload
Okay.
are being saved because I
figured you would.
don't want to do too many Metallica in one go. Also, again, we have to do the Metallica podcast.
We are a Metallica podcast, okay? We're just going to live up to it.
We're making them want it.
We need to do a whole episode dedicated.
We will. We're going to do
Metallica.
I think after the album series, we're probably going to do like 1 or 2 episodes just of Metallica.
Yeah,
I'd like the history and then just talking about our feelings about them.
Yeah, I'd like to do a lot of bands actually still.
Well, yeah,
too,
yeah.
You know? But Metallica's the first.
That's definitely
the first. Yeah,
and then probably like Green Day.
Green Day needs to be on there. Yeah, stuff that we all listen to. I'd like to stick or stuff that we're all like if one person's heavy into it, I'd like to do that too because then you can kind of teach everyone. It's almost like a teaching. Yeah. So
show and tell.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
all right, I'll try to go through quick because I still have 3 or 4 left. My next 2 are kind of the only reason I put them on here is because I know one song off of each of them, but I know the artist is so well known and I respect the artist so much that I kind of, if I listen to them, I probably like more of these albums. But School's Out and Prince of Darkness by Alice Cooper. School's Out was obviously a big song, right? That's like every summer in like high school or elementary school, I'd play that right on the last day just because I'm like, hey, we're done.
Oh, definitely. Like in my elementary school, they played that song in like end of school.
Yeah, over the PA system. Yeah. And then Prince of Darkness, I don't know a whole lot off of it. I think it's like half compilation, half like studio album. But the title track, Prince of Darkness itself, is a really good song. It's an underrated song, but I think it's one of his like more like kind of Alice Cooper sounding songs, because there's some songs he has that don't sound like Alice Cooper, but that one's like a very much.
No, I agree with that.
Like that.
Definitely.
And then I also got I'll save this one because I want to. We'll do this one later, but then I'll just do my honorable mentions before I do my last one. So
sure.
I got 3 honorable mentions. The first is Fearless, and I chose that one because the Taylor's version of Fearless is yellow. I was like, the original's not, but the Taylor's version is, so why not? And that's a good Swift album. Another one is Use Your Illusions Part 1 by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, my dad got mad at me that I didn't have Use Your Illusions Part 2 for the Blue album. So I'm like, fuck. So I made sure to get this on here because it's such a good...
Oh,
I don't know much off of it, but the songs I do know are really good. And then the other one I had was Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon. And this song, I only know 2 songs off of it, which is why I put it as an honorable mention. But the songs I know were the title track, This Is Sempiternal, and I forget actually what the other one's called. Give me 1 second. Can You Feel My Heart? That's their biggest song still. It's a really good track. But yeah, the whole album's really heavy, and then Can You Feel My Heart is like kind of like pop rock. But yeah, those are mine. And then my last like full-on one that I know every song off of and I really like is called All Is Yellow by Lyrical Lemonade. So Lyrical Lemonade is mostly he's a video producer, so he makes a lot of videos for rappers and hip-hop artists.
Okay.
Especially recently, he had 2 or 3 videos for Eminem. He had a few for Juice WRLD. He had a few for Lil Yachty. Can't remember who else, but yeah, he's very much in the modern rap scene. And he this year, like just I think February or March, he released an album that he produced, and I think he did all the beats for it. I might be wrong on that, but he definitely did most of the beats. And he had it's just a bunch of great rappers. So he had. Let me see if I can find the list of people he had on there. He had not lyrical. He had Lil Yachty. He had JID, which is really good new artist. He had Kid Cudi. He had Chief Keef. He had Kid Laroi.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Tezo Touchdown, and then he had 2 songs on here, which my favorite 2 songs on it are Doomsday and Doomsday Part 2. Doomsday is Juice WRLD and Cordae, and it's a old Eminem beat. It's got, I don't know if you remember the song Role Model by his debut album, Slim Shady. Well, I guess technically second.
No, I don't. I probably do if I heard it. I just don't know.
Yeah,
it.
but so he took the beat off that, he remixed it a little bit, and then he had Juice WRLD and Corday kind of go back and forth. They went back and forth on it. Really good track. Then Doomsday Part 2, he remixed that again, and then he got M on it.
Oh, nice.
So he got M on the album, and it's just like there's some really good tracks on it. Like Fallout's another really good one. Stop Giving Advice with Jack Harlow is a good one. It's just a really good. I know a lot of people don't like it. Like there's some weaker tracks on it, but it's just a really good. Like every song's different, and it's just cool.
Well, with that being said, there I got actually a few more. I'll just say we're off the top of my head because Melissa reminded me of one. That would be the Dazed and Confused soundtrack with the big yellow smiley face, even though it's blue in the back. And that is great if you love 70s music, right? Mm-hmm. That's an amazing album for that alone from front to back. We just got it on vinyl. And we got Dazed and Confused, the part 2 on vinyl, even more Dazed and Confused as well. There's it was a record store day one. Also, I want to just put this shout out since I'm a big punk guy, and that's Punkorama 10. I know it's compilations. I don't like to do that, but
them last time. So.
Yeah, it was the last Punkorama album that ever came out in 2005, and it had the song that was hidden away for years, and it finally got released, and that was The Offspring's Mission from God was on there, which should have been on their Ignition album, but it wasn't because I think I explained that. I don't know if I explained this on here. I know I explained it to you guys that The Offspring and Epitaph Records got into a big fuss because they got famous. They signed with another deal. Epitaph's like, fuck you. We're going to keep some of your songs. And Dexter's like, well, I want to make Nitro Records and release
I was going to say, didn't he make his
own? So, but anyways, Mission from God finally got released. But yeah, Punkorama 10, just because I'm a big punk guy. It was the last album for Punkorama, and I wish they would have continued, but honestly, I think
a whole decade.
Yeah. Punkorama's dead. I guess punk's dead. That's why they stopped. They knew it. They just said, we're done. And unfortunately, that was it.
It's not dead, but it's back to its roots, being underground.
Oh, yeah. And I'll get into that in another podcast episode. There you go,
better.
Matt.
I like that better, honestly.
Okay.
Screaming episode.
Yeah, screaming episode. I'm having an episode. All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Yellow List.
I thought this list would be a lot shorter than it was, but I guess we had more than I realized.
That's true. And
an hour and a half.
We'll have to split this one up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I think it's still shorter than the other two because I think they were an hour and 50.
Yeah. I can't help but think of the song by The Used who sang Blue and Yellow, and that also has yellow in it. That's all I got. Works for me. All right. So overall, favorite Yellow album on your list?
Oh, shit. Wasn't ready for this one. Shine Down. Tension. That's
I figured that was going to be it. I was either going to be that or Smash.
What do you got, Reese?
I'd probably take Business as Usual.
And that's
Men at Work.
Men at Work, okay. What do you got, Jackson?
I'm going to need a second to think.
Okay.
Do you have one? Do you know what yours is, Bill?
I think, okay, so I'm torn. I got two because I feel they're tied. That's Inner Party System and Pennywise. So I like those bands a lot. I'm going to say they're even. I'm going to go two, Pennywise and Inner Party System. I'll give you two. You have a long list. If you can come up.
It's hard because I'm like, there's like 7 that I'm like, I like all these equally, but.
It's like
and there's so much different songs.
The 11th hour, folks. Jackson's
shit.
Life or Death.
Yeah, Life or Death.
I'll probably do Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden and So Far So Good So What by Megadeth.
But fair enough, that could change tomorrow, right? Let's be honest.
These are
exactly,
especially the 2 Iron Maiden ones. Those are the ones I'm not sure which one because it's like one's their early stuff and it's really classic, and then they're the other ones like another classic one, but it's bigger, it's more popular.
I get that totally. Well, with that being said, this is our edition of the Yellow Albums. For you listening at home right now, what are your favorite Yellow albums? Did we miss any? Leave it in the comments, whether on YouTube or Instagram. It's all the same. It's New Apartment Radio Podcast. Check us out on there and leave a comment. Let us know what you want to hear because we're trying to entertain you guys as well as ourselves in all of this, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
With that being said, for this edition, on behalf of Race, who's finally back from his tour of Jamaica.
We're proud of him.
Yep.
He survived Malaysia.
Yeah. For Matt, who's the host of the Dick King podcast, heard locally at various stores.
No, just Walmart.
Just Walmart.
The sketchy podcast.
Yeah. And for my number one producer, Jackson, who, if not for him, this would not be easily done. Thank you, Jackson, once again for another one. I am the host, Bill, and we will see you once again down the road for another edition of New Apartment Radio Podcast. Peace!